Welcome to the Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside
the Flair and Charlotte Flair, Jem.
This was every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to Facebook group, facebook.com/group/popcultures, or the Discord. Link is in the description. Link may not work. Apparently the link has changed on us, and yeah, so let us know if the link doesn't work and I'll get it all sorted. And also, if you don't want to do like social medias, there are other ways of getting in contact with us down in the down belows. If you want to support Pop Culture on your body, head popcultures.com/shop. We get my shirts like this. Actually, I'm wearing a proper shirt this week.
Yeah.
And we are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/popcultures. What's up?
What's up?
How was your Easter breaks?
Yeah, good. I went away to the countryside.
You did?
With my mom.
You went to hang out with your ma?
Yeah, spent a couple of days with her, which was nice. How about yourself?
Yeah, no, it was alright. I did the same. Nothing,
just hung out.
Really nothing different.
Yeah.
No.
Good time. Very good time.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Yeah, good.
Pretty chill. No, yeah, so no major changes over the break because I'm still on holidays now. I go back on Monday.
Ah, yes.
So I've had a little bit longer than usual, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, still nothing drastic has happened. So
neither.
Speaking of drastic, though, we are heading into the Raw and the SmackDown post Superstar Shakeup.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing whether the changes that took place are paying off. Whether we're gonna see the beginnings of some new fights, new feuds, new alliances.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on this week.
Yeah, definitely. I was shocked. I always thought the shake-up was a one-day thing, but apparently not.
Yeah, so we've come to learn, spoilers, the Superstar Shake-Up does not just happen on the week it happens.
Yeah.
Apparently, they just fucked that shit around for a week. So we've got a good friend of the show, Kilobyte, in Discord, has been keeping us up to date, being like, hey, did you know this happened? Did you know this happened? Like, but I thought the Superstar Shake-Up was here. He's like, nah.
Apparently not.
Now where's this? I'm like, geez, fuck, man. How many different things do they want to do not at the time they said they would do it?
It seems like every day this week somebody's changed or moved or, wild.
It's been chaos. Absolute chaos. But
fun chaos.
starting off the week as we always do with Raw. This time it took in Des Moines, Iowa, the home of Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
Did start off with Triple H making his way into the ring. Did a sort of bit of a chat.
Yes.
And then brings out Seth Rollins to have a bit of a chat about what happened at WrestleMania. Sort of Triple H is essentially there just doing the hype, doing the previously on Raw. So he's giving the rundown of that's what he stands for, hype.
Yeah, I love it.
So he's just there, he's just laying down, like this, at WrestleMania, you curb stomped Brock Lesnar 3 times, you like wrecked his bucket face.
Yeah, like you curb stomped Brock Lesnar and just like 3 times.
So they talked about the idea that during this episode of Raw, we'll be getting 2 triple threat matches to determine the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship heading into Money in the Bank, which is in about just shy of 4 weeks.
Yes.
Should be pretty cool.
Yeah, so 2 triple threat matches. Winner of each goes into their own match. Winner of that is the number 1
Yeah,
contender.
so whoever wins, there are 3 matches here, so like almost like round robin sort of stuff. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely a bit of fun.
So they didn't give a big splash about who was going to be involved in this match. We'll get to that shortly. But while they're having this discussion about, I've got a target on my back, Universal Championship, this is what it's for. This is, a lot's involved here. People want to take me down.
Yes.
So in comes Samoa Joe's music, as predicted by as Dash not predicted. Informed us last week that Samoa Joe was coming across but was unable due to sickness.
Yes.
Was unable to make his way across, but he has this week. And he doesn't look sick, which is very, very good.
Yeah, he looked in good health and ready to rumble.
That's it. He came in.
He wanted to fight.
Yeah, he was ready to rock and roll right then and there. He was doing the idea of coming to the ring, had a gut and Seth Rollins shit, and like, hey, look, Becky's got the right idea, man. 2 belts seems like a fucking awesome idea.
I've got 1, and I've got a spare shoulder.
And you can see my shoulders are plenty wide.
Yeah, I love it. Such a good one.
And then we get Rey Mysterio coming on in as well.
Yeah, Rey seemed to come out, not for... he said he came out for Seth, and he's like, I deserve a shot at this title, but it seemed more like he was gunning for Samoa Joe to me.
Oh shit!
I feel like Ray's still a bit sour about the WrestleMania incident. So Ray's like,
understandably,
Yeah.
for those that might be tuning in for the first time, Rey Mysterio did get mushed by Samoa Joe in under 60 seconds at
Yes.
WrestleMania. So I certainly think you could be right there, even
Yeah.
just. Regardless of the Universal Championship, I think
Yeah.
there's something there. I think there's something to that. Because I don't know about you, if I happen to be a competitor and I get mushed in 60 seconds, I'm going to have a bee in my bonnet. Or my bee in my weird fucking luchador mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like, I'm going to want to
Yeah.
punch some face.
Because it seemed like an afterthought when he was speaking sort of directly to Joe, and then he was like, something.
Oh, yeah, you too, I
yeah,
suppose.
championship, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Then we get Drew McIntyre, and he comes out and he says, look, essentially saying, like, I don't give a shit about anything in terms of the championship, none of this shit. Sorry, the championship, about the shake-up, none of it.
Yeah.
I have been back here for a year cleaning up this place.
Mess,
That I've made this place into something, being proud of,
Yeah.
and without any belt shots, which, now that I think about it, kind of baffles me. I think Drew should be with a shot.
Yeah,
Like, if
definitely.
anything, he was on, as I've mentioned before, he was on such a good momentum, and then
Yeah.
towards the end of last year, for some reason, he decided to get involved with Three-Man Bland and proceeded to do nothing until now.
Yeah.
It's a real damn shame.
Yeah,
I think out of
definitely.
anyone we're on the list here, I believe he's probably been the best shot.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I reckon that'd be a good matchup, especially with the whole thing with the Shield and stuff like that recently as well. I definitely think it's carrying on an old storyline, but it's making it new and fresh and exciting.
I dig it. Then the Miz comes out and talking about how he shouldn't be underestimated
Yeah.
or mistaken. Although
Misunderstood. Hey.
although he, for him it was like, I've just come out of this match, out of this thing with Shane. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm
Yeah.
bigger than I've ever
Yeah,
been.
he's
And I'm
a
like,
different Miz.
I
He's a
like
whole
that
new
Miz.
Miz.
I
And
believe in Miz.
Yeah.
And then Baron Corbin comes out.
It's like the Matt Damon puppet from Team America.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin.
So Baron Corbin came out to say something. I don't know if I fucking zoned out.
Yeah, so did I.
And then,
I think it was something
I
along
remember
the-
now. So he came out to everyone talking about accolades and who deserves it, and he was like, "Have you
beaten Kurt Angle in his
Kurt
farewell match?
Like, it's almost like, you're not me.
Yeah.
Are you me?
Samoa-
No, you're not me.
Samoa Joe, you me? No. What about you, Ray? You me? No, you're not me.
You're
What
not-
about you,
you're
Seth? No,
not
you're
me.
not either.
And then finally AJ comes out and talks about how he's like, so he mentioned he dropped the I'm the longest running SmackDown championship holder. He two-timer.
Yeah.
So he had it, then he lost it, then he had it for fucking ever.
Yeah, forever. SmackDown is a house that AJ built, but this is Raw.
Yep.
And I'm going to show you why we say that. And yeah.
I was like, all right,
I
cool,
was
cool,
like,
cool.
yeah, all right. I say, crowd loved it.
So then, yeah, sure. Like,
Everybody
so
was super hyped. as soon
AJ's
as
beard
AJ
has
came
grown
out.
back in, which looks good.
Yeah, he looks a lot
It's
better.
a little bit less weird
Yeah.
than last week, which
Yeah.
are very nice. What do you think of this? So before we go into this, what did you think of these guys coming out and having a chat?
I thought it was a bit of fun.
Mhm.
I love a bit of banter. I love a bit of back and forth. I love a bit of like everybody getting really excited about about this whole thing. Seth's just standing there with Triple H like, okay, I guess, all right. Keep chatting, whatever. Like, it was a bit of fun just sort of seeing what everybody has to say about this. Obviously, there is a huge target on the back, and pretty much the entire roster is after Seth. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to see what these contenders for this number one championship contender thing, like, it was really cool to see what they all had to say for themselves to obviously try and push themselves, which was really fun.
Saying that though, I believe the only person that has a genuine shot, or from any of all these guys that deserve this opportunity, to me, it's only Drew.
Yeah.
Like the other guys, like yes, they all have their value. Joe's got his own belt right now. I don't think he should be focusing more on defending that than trying to get another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Ray is a legend and he is past his time, but I think he himself should
He's
be.
got his eye on Joe's prize.
Like he should be, yeah, exactly. He should know that he's going slower, and he can't. You're a man that just got mushed in 60 seconds. You are not in any physical condition to even
Take on the Beast Slayer.
consider going for the Universal Championship. Like,
Yeah.
calm the fuck down, Ray. Miz, Miz is like the 8-time Intercontinental champion holder.
Something like that.
So like he has his fair share of belts, and as far as I recall, I don't think he's ever held a big time heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
So I think he does have a shot, but saying that he has just come across to Raw.
Sure
he has?
Yeah,
I'm going to totally be wrong, but as far as I recall,
I think once he might have been the heavyweight champ.
So for me, thinking, look at this guy, like, look, you just got here, mate. Congratulations on getting your shot now, but calm down, mate.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to prove yourself on Raw first.
Like, yes,
you've
you've been at Raw 1,000 times. Like, if in terms of shakeups, like no one's jumped to and fro as much as the Miz.
But you've still got to make you make your place.
Each time you come back, you come back restarted, reshuffled.
Mm-hmm.
You need to re-earn your points.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin go fuck himself, period.
Exactly.
And as an AJ's just had a whole stint as a fucking champion.
Yeah, exactly.
He's becoming the Charlotte Flair of fucking Raw now.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
take a back seat, AJ.
Take a back seat. Give someone else a shot, man. We've had enough of you.
Could definitely agree with that.
The first match of the night was the triple threat match between Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. I just wrote here in capital letters, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, well, I wasn't wrong because clearly, Rey had his eyes on the Samoa Joe prize. Like, it was his focus the entire time. But yeah, wow. I was ridiculously invested in this match. There was so many good hits. There was a lot of brutality, obviously. AJ did an awesome job of keeping Joe out of the match for a lot of the start of it. Just keeping him to the ringside, kept knocking him back down. It's a good idea, obviously, just to have, a level playing ground between him and Rey. Keep Joe down, keep the big guy down, because then you can actually work on somebody a bit smaller and make it easier for yourself.
Yeah. And so in terms of, as you mentioned, you were spot on. It was certainly brutal. It was faster than I expected it to be.
I always forget how quick Samoa Joe can be.
Especially we know AJ, although he isn't the flyer like Rey is, he can still do a bit of up in the air shit with the forearm and whatnot. So in terms of the three of them, I think it was a very well evenly fought match.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. There were some great moments where, once again, showing that future potential there with Rey. He had both AJ and Joe on the ropes for a 619, and he made that choice to go for Joe. I think. Yeah. So I think Rey may have joined this match knowing the outcome, and not knowing the outcome. He's like, look, I don't have this.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows what he's got his eye on a prize, and it's not Seth's prize, it's Joe's. He wants that US title. I believe it's the only title he hasn't held, I think.
With US Championship,
yeah.
I think that's about right.
I think that's why his eye is on that prize. I did love Rey did this killer Samoan drop counter, I thought, holy shit, Rey's going to get, dropped and killed by Samoa Joe. And then next minute, Joe's the one out. And I was like, oh, he countered that. Rey's got some really good counters to a few things. There was another one where AJ got out of the cocaine clutch.
Yeah, so there were two clutch moments, and they were both consecutively, and they're both able to get out of them, which was nice. Because the second I saw, I'm like, fuck, that's
Rey didn't get out of it. Joe threw him to attack AJ, and then AJ.
I was just saying that they got out of him. The second I saw that clutch, I'm like, fuck, that's not how this match needs to end. I don't want to see some guys get choked out again. That's boring. But no, thankfully there was no choke out. It did end with AJ Styles getting the what's it called? The Styles Clash.
Yeah.
The Styles Clash so he had Rey in the Styles Clash and then dropping on a Joe. Yeah. And what was fascinating, because both of them were incapacitated at this point, he proceeds to push Rey out of the way and get that pin on Joe.
Yeah.
He could have taken the quote unquote easier pin on Rey, but went the bigger guy.
Yeah.
Solid move by AJ.
Yeah,
so, of course,
definitely.
AJ does get the win, and he heads on to the match later in the night.
Just showing that he's worthy of competing against a Beast Slayer.
I think that's probably, even optically, if you didn't, I keep using that word, but even just how it's looked at, right? So, from the outside, if you look in, you're like, oh, yeah, you've taken on the big dude. He could have pinned both of them and got that win.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's I think you're spot on there, the idea of I need to demonstrate that I am the Beast Slayer.
Yeah.
I think he made the right move there.
Yep, definitely.
Next up was a women's single match between Naomi and Billie Kay with Peyton Royce of the Iconics.
Oh my god, their banter is the freaking best.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I love that they come out every time and they just banter.
If anything, just solidifies my theory. These are the jokers of
they're really
of the
court jesters of the wrestling.
Yeah.
They are so funny. Oh, fuck. I can't even remember what they said. All I remember was like cackling myself the entire time. I was like,
so
I love these
they're
two.
having a go about like thank you next with.
Trying to talk about Ariana Grande, but they're talking about Starbucks and shit. And they're like, what's her name? Like Venti? No, that's what you order at Starbucks. And I get a Ariana Grande!
Yeah, it was a bit lame.
It was so dumb, but it was so great.
Yeah.
I loved everything about it. They're so cheesy and they make me laugh so much.
Yeah.
Like, watch them.
They go alright.
They're so good. I watch their like Snapchat and stuff like that, and they're just the most like cheesy, funny people in the world. Like, I absolutely love them. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the Iconics now.
Yeah, we like. I do like how we've turned around, but interestingly enough, there's not a lot to say about this match. It wasn't exceptional in any way. The only thing that it makes me wonder is this is another time that the Iconics have lost.
Yeah.
So Naomi gets the win. I forget how. I think it's important.
Did I? I don't think it is.
Because like Naomi's just there. Well, you're fine. You
Yeah.
don't care about your Naomi. But this is certainly concerning for me. Like this is the second time that Billie Kay has lost in a singles match post having the belts. Peyton's lost the once, but she competes on SmackDown, as we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
This is a disturbing trend. Now, understandable, like they are a tag team, so maybe their strengths are working as a tag team
as opposed to
individuals, but it's not a good look.
No.
To have belts and forever lose.
Yeah. Definitely
It's a
agree.
problem.
Yeah, it definitely is. Especially no harm to Naomi or anything, but like Naomi is nothing spectacular. It's definitely concerning for them. Like you said, like they aren't specifically singles competitors either. They do work as a team primarily. And even though there were parts there where Peyton did get involved, like I'm pretty sure Naomi like knocked her off and then got the roll up on Billie or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely concerning me.
The problem is because look, we know they won the belts by fluke by taking advantage of the Glam Slam on Bailey.
Yes.
So we know that like they didn't really kind of quote unquote earn the win.
Yes.
But like when you look at the likes of Bailey and the likes of Sasha Banks, when they were holding the belt as the Boston Hug Connection and they were and like just having matches singularly, they were getting the wins.
Were still winning,
Apart from losing that belt, they were doing pretty solid. So it's my concern personally is it's making the belts look like a fucking joke. And
the
like
jokers are turning into the joke.
the fact that it's taken so long for this belt to come into existence to then be for them to be won by a solid team, a team that represents that scene, like the strength of women's tag teams.
Yes.
To then be given to, even though we enjoy them, to a far superior. I keep saying given. They didn't know. They took that win.
Taken, yeah.
Yeah, they took that win. So them taking that win and then having the belts, it puts a whole mockery on those belts.
Yeah.
And it's a real shame.
Yeah. But that's sports entertainment for you. It's entertaining to see, I think for me it's entertaining to see like how they can't hold up their end of the deal. Like they claim, they're this big hot shit tag team and they did steal a win and they're just proving that they're not. They're all talk and no walk. And I kind of love that because I can't wait to see what tag team is just going to completely squash them for those titles. Because at the moment we don't have a solid tag team challenging them. So
well, that's certainly true. Because if you look at what else is around, you're pretty much looking at.
There's only two teams that come to mind in my head.
Yeah, me too. There's like Fire and Desire, which is the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and the newly created Japanese Experience, not what they're called, of Asuka and Kairi. So they're probably the only two ones I can think of. There are, a bunch of other thrown people together, like Nia Jax and Tamina. Us were certainly contenders, but Nia Jax is off with injury now.
Yeah.
We did
good because I'm sick of hearing her voice.
Apparently Beth Phoenix is hanging around, so she's not coming out for a couple of matches, then heading back into the dark.
Yeah.
She is apparently hanging around with Natalya, but Natalya seems to be bringing her focus more to the Women's Championship.
Yes.
So that's kind of crumbled before it's even started.
Yes.
It's the difficult part here is my concern is the validity of these belts.
Yes.
There's only a handful, like not even a handful of people that could be in the same place to have these belts, and without throwing two random people together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see someone, when they made that team of Naomi and Asuka for some reason.
Yeah.
To be carrying those belts.
Yeah, or even Naomi and Carmella and the Fabulous Girl.
Exactly, that's right.
It's literally, just a real haphazardly thrown together thing, which, I'm just not at all interested in. They really need to, step up or step out.
Yeah.
And I'm scared that, we're going to lose the belts as quickly as we got them.
I think so.
Or quicker than we got them.
I think so too. I truly think that if it wasn't for that cheat, not cheat, because they won legally, but if it wasn't for that dirty win at WrestleMania, I think we would still have the Boston Hug with the belts. I think we would still have them going strong too.
Definitely.
And it's a real shame that that's been lost.
Definitely. But at the same time, I like seeing the Iconics. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
Tell me some more jokes. Be loud and obnoxious. Scream. Call everything a joke. It's great.
Then we get on to this second triple threat of the match, which was The Miz versus Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. So this match in particular was fucking furious. Like, Miz was in. Second that bell rang, he's like,
he was
not
on
fucking
fire.
about.
Yeah, he's still obviously really burnt from what Shane did to him. So he's still really got that fire under his ass, and he was just like, okay, it's 2 against 1 here. Clearly, it's 2/3 a 3-man bland, and poor The Miz on his own. So he knew it was fight or flight.
Thankfully, though, there wasn't too much collusion between Drew and Baron. Like, I would have thought that there would have been like, let's mush this dude, let's get him out of the picture, and then you and I can go at the end. But no, although there was some minor sort of teamwork-esque things, but Baron had no issue with a soccer punch and Drew in the face.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting the opposite of that too. I was expecting Drew to be like, this is my moment. But no, Baron Corbin was the instigator of the attack. So I was like, of course you are, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Of course. Like, I was like, I wasn't expecting this, but at the same time, like, yeah, of course.
So the match did end with Drew McIntyre dropping a Claymore click onto the Miz's face, and as Miz dropped, Baron comes in, whips Drew out of the ring, gets the pin. Baron Corbin is taking AJ Styles for an opportunity. He did an Iconics. Hurts. Yeah. Drew should have had that win. That was Drew's win to take.
Definitely.
And it's a real bummer, but at least he didn't get the pin, which is one thing. And on top of that, Baron is bringing up a whole bunch of different things for me. I fucking hate him. Yeah. But he's getting such a good reaction out of me. I'm like, I want to see more of you, but less of you. Yeah. It puts me in a real tough place. Like, do I think he should be holding a belt? No. But imagine if he is. Imagine if Baron Corbin is the one to take the Universal Championship away from Seth. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. I want it and I don't want it all at the same time.
In that room.
So controversial.
There wouldn't just be, vocal heat. It would be literal heat. That room would go up in flames.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of sick I want to feel.
If you think about it, look, if you look at other quote unquote bad dudes in the game right now, who is there? There isn't anyone aside from Daniel Bryan, who is off now, I believe, for injury. There is no one that's having the same level of heat.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Bryan then Corbin.
Yeah, that's true.
So like he's almost hitting a place of love to hate, but kind of not, because Daniel Bryan's love to hate was like, ooh, you're right, but you're a fuck. Yeah. Where Baron Corbin is, you are just a fuck. Yeah, and I hate you. Yeah. And like, he's just a smug dickhole the whole time.
Especially when he has that extended announcement of former Golden Gloves boxing champion, former this, former that, former this, and Iowa's favorite song.
That is my new favorite thing. I'm hoping that each week they add something new to that list. So
every town
come Money in the Bank, he's like miles long.
Yeah, it's gonna be longer than the Shane McMahon's Best in the World intro. Yeah. Like, it's gonna go forever. And like, I love to hate it. I'm just like, oh, this is so dumb, but keep going. Yeah. Like, what else can we add to this list?
Yeah. It's a perfect example of what a good wrestling match is. Like,
Yes.
there have been plenty of times that we've seen a face versus face, and we're like, I don't really know who to go for because I like them both. But here, like, fuck Seth, ruin his face.
Yeah.
Ruin his face.
Definitely.
We're making predictions here. They go.
But if that's, you know, if...
Because if AJ wins, it's like it's face v face. Like, okay.
But you've also got to remember, like, obviously, like, Baron's turned on Drew. Like, would Baron even make it to that match? Or would Drew just completely
Drew just
ruin
decks
him?
Well, as in, look, 3 men.
Drew was pissed.
Yeah, he was. He was mighty pissed.
He was so angry.
Like, it wouldn't,
understandably,
it
he did
wouldn't
all the work.
surprise me if we see that down the line. Like,
Oh, I'd love to see a breakup of three-man blend.
Drew has spent a lot of the time by himself. Like, granted, towards the end of last year, he did hold the Raw Championship with Dolph Ziggler. Sorry, the tag team. Sorry, with Dolph Ziggler, and then he turned on Dolph Ziggler, pissed out of him. We haven't seen him since. Well, sorry about Rumble, but we haven't seen him on TV since.
Yes.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Drew does the same thing and then ends up turning around on Baron at some point and destroying three-man blend for all it stands for.
Yeah, exactly.
But next we get a Sami Zayn promo. Which is excellent as before. What was bloody brilliant about it is this was SmackDown where he did the slideshow.
No, that was,
That was this,
he did the slow show.
So he did pull up a bunch of photos from his Instagram talking about while he was away, he was the happiest he had ever been.
Yes.
And he's showing pictures of him in France and Switzerland
Norway.
and Mexico and all these lovely places, just having a grand
time. There's like a photo of him in a hammock, and he's like, "Don't I look like a cozy little sausage roll?" I was just like, "I want a sausage roll."
It was great.
Yeah, it was so good.
Like, Sami Zayn is awesome, and we can all relate to the idea of being off sick and then having to go back to work and fucking hating it.
Yeah, exactly it. And, you know, he refers to it as, like, you know, a prison. Like, well, obviously most people think work is a bit of a hellhole, like a prison. But I love that at the end of it, he's like, you know what you guys need? You know what you need to be happier? You need a trip. You need a trip. You need to go on a trip. You can go straight to hell. I was like,
love the straight to hell thing.
I was like, this is really...
I was listening to another wrestling podcast, and they brought up a good point. Although this is really good, and his spit and fire is fun, it is very classic bad duo.
Yeah.
He's yelling at the crowd, telling how shitty the crowd is.
Yes.
Like, Daniel Bryan did do something similar when he became the Planet's champion.
Yes.
However, he would still always target it at a person. Like, even though he was shitting on the universe, he would also bring that around to, like, the likes of AJ Styles. And I think having that other person, I agree with the podcast, grounds him.
Yes.
And gives him something. I mean, it gives it a bit of length. I think my concern is this: whatever Sammy's going for,
not landing.
The length, mate, it is landing right now. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. Definitely fair.
Yeah, so next we get the match between Cedric Alexander and Cesaro, because apparently the bar has been split.
Yep, the bar has been split. Cesaro is now on Raw.
Yeah, rumor has it that I did get some info from Dash. He said that Sheamus may be injured. Maybe out for a little while, so this is probably a good temporary middle ground.
Yes,
because we don't know how
well,
bad.
he's still coming out repping the bar and stuff like that, so it doesn't seem
they
like
did
they're
literally
separated.
just play the bar intro, like not his intro, the bar intro.
Yep, and he had his the bar shorts on. He walking out doing
which
the bar thing.
Which potentially, like, when Sheamus does come back, does that mean the bar are then on Raw, or are they then going back together at SmackDown, or are they staying separate? Like, there's a bunch of things up in the air.
Up in the air, definitely. Obviously, Cedric Alexander is an up-and-comer from 205 Live, so his first match on Raw, which I was quite excited to see. They have been hyping him up quite a bit. Before his match, they did show his little video, so I was a bit like, I'm keen to see this, especially against, you know, Cesaro, because, like, have you seen the guy? He's huge. Like, he's fully jacked. Like,
so what do you think? I've been talking non-stop, so what do you
think?
think?
No, it's all good. I really enjoyed this match. It was really interesting. Obviously, Alexander's run-of-the-mill sort of cruiserweight. He's really fast. He's high-flying. And then Cesaro, not so much. Like, obviously, he's a more grounded, bigger dude, heavier hitter. There was some really cool stuff that Cedric did. He did lose, unfortunately, on his first match. Cesaro did get a real nasty slam, I believe it was. He catches him in the air, brutal like body slam, and then gets the pin. But yeah, I was all about this. I was really interested to see sort of what Alexander's made of. and where he can fit into this whole mix of things. Obviously, I was a bit concerned, like, how are you going to fit in, and are they just going to, you know, butcher you here? But no, I was really impressed. I really, really enjoyed it.
I think this demonstrates something huge here. So, you know, although he may have been the big guy at 205, he's still the big little guy. You're now playing with the big dudes.
Yeah.
So, like...
literally and physically.
Yeah,
like,
literally
mentally.
and physically. Like, you know, from that, he's got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, this is going to either A... fuck with Cedric, put him in a place where he's like, what's happened?
Yeah.
Why'd I come up? Because he's gonna have to reconsider his plan of attack here.
Yes.
Like, he can't use the same moves, the same tactics as he would in 205.
Yes.
They don't play here.
Exactly, and especially against people like Cesaro, tall dude is just going to catch him midair and slam me down.
Yeah.
Definitely. Look, I was really interested to see Cesaro in singles competition as well. Obviously, he has been paired with Sheamus. They do a lot of tag team stuff together. Seeing him on his own and seeing the powerhouse he truly is, just consistently non-stop, it's hard to knock him down. I definitely think that's gonna rattle Alexander as well and be like, you know, my first match is against one of the bigger dudes, like, you know, the founders of what I'm doing. Like, this is really, it's either he's gonna, you know, nut up or shut up now. Like, there's a lot that's gonna go into this for him. But I'm interested to see where it takes him to see if, you know, his next match is a little bit different or, you know, what. I'm very interested.
Yeah, so saying that, like, I am pretty excited to see more of Cesaro solo.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
You know, as Sheamus calls him, Big Dick Tony.
Big Dick Tony.
I'm down to see more Cesaro do
Definitely.
more cool things. Next, we had a promo from the Usos. Talking about, I think for them, it was pretty much listing off the tag teams and why he can beat them and why they can mush them and that sort of stuff.
I was very pleasantly excited when they were mentioning, you know, other tag teams, like who they are and what they do, and they said the Viking Raiders, and I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah,
so this did get informed to us by Kilobyte.
Yes.
He did mention pre-show, he was like, hey, things are changing at if you go to WWE.com, you look at the superstar list, like, things are moving. Like, this is, he told us about Cesaro coming over early, and while I was there, I scrolled down, I'm like, the Viking Raiders, they've changed.
Yes.
Their name has been changed.
Which I'm happier with.
Yeah, big time.
Way happier with.
Look, it still certainly reads that old Vince is like, well, if we don't call them Vikings, no one's going to know they're Vikings.
Yeah.
It's like, look, the Raiders is fine. But they're Vikings.
They're Viking Raiders.
Oh, the Viking Raiders. Like, you fucking moron.
Shut up there.
Yeah. But they are still going as Eric and Ivar. They didn't go
Yes.
all the way. Look,
I don't know which one's which now too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I've got it here. Yeah, so the guy with all the tattoos, that's Eric, and then the other one's Ivar.
Yeah, so Hanson is, well, it's all confusing.
Their old names were better.
Yeah, Hanson, Roy, much better names.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, so they're sort of going through all the lists of, you know, who's who and like why they can mush them and why they're not a threat. And then the Revival come in, being the Revival.
Beautiful line. They're obviously mocking the Usos, and they're like, oh, welcome to the Revival Reformatory.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I see what you did there. And then it pans to the Usos.
They're slapping on each other.
And yeah, that was great.
Oh, I had a dream that two guys walked up and they want to kick our butt.
And they look just like these two. That was so good. Like, just the disrespect for the Revival was just like, oh, they're throwing heat already. They're
like, once again, it just demonstrated the awesomeness of the Uso with their promo skills. These guys are great talkers until they have to do the Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. It instantly fucking breaks all of it. Like, this was fire. This was so fucking good. I'm like, yes, fuck the Viking Raiders. Fuck them. And I'm like, fuck all of them. And then there's like,
oh, fuck the Usos.
Yeah, fuck the Usos, man.
I would love to just see the Revival fully mock them one day and be like, welcome to the Revival Reformatory. That was such a good line. Props to Dash and Dawson for that. That was so good. But yeah, they're just like falling asleep on each other. Like, that was the best. What? So good.
So next we did get a tag match. So it was the Viking Raiders, and I wrote in brackets here, well, it's sort of better, versus the Lucha House Party. Those three dudes we haven't seen in a little while.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a while.
No.
Interesting.
So the match didn't even get underway as the Viking Raiders proceeded to beat the living piss out of Lucha House Party before the bell even went.
Yep, they're sort of doing their little intro thing. They're standing on the ropes, and then bam, you dead.
Yeah.
You dead. They did some really cool shit though. So like I can't remember what they call it, but Eric like lifted up.
Holds two dudes.
Yeah, like throw. No. Like he like threw him up, and then the other guy caught him. Ivar caught him for the body slam. I was like, whoa, damn! Like that is a.
And then the other feat of strength where Eric holds two guys and drops them.
So that move is called the Viking experience.
The Viking experience is the throw. I think.
Yeah. So that lift up, throw, and then the body slam. I was like, oh damn, that's a move.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna be able to do that with everyone, but that was a move. Like that was really
almost
cool
everyone
to see.
in NXT.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's something we're going to need to see then. Because that had me really interested in the Viking Raiders. They've got a very different set of, like, moveset compared to a lot of the tag teams you do see these days. So I'm really interested to see where they get taken.
Well, as I explained when we talked about it for TakeOver, like the Raiders, I'm just going to call them the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders have a good skill set. So we'll have to use their current names. So with Eric, like Eric is that grounded puncher. Like he doesn't do a lot of airborne stuff. He is just strength. Now with Ivar does get airborne. He gets up and he's very agile. He's the Kung Fu Panda of wrestling. So like he does okay, but he also has he does okay as, you know, flippies and shit. But he also does have that strength to back up as well because he's a big fucking dude.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's that in the Lucha House Party. It's three fucking cruiserweights. No,
Smushed.
Absolutely smushed.
Absolutely.
Next we get Becky Lynch versus the match was with Alicia Fox,
who we haven't seen in a while, which they kept mentioning.
So since she rocked up shit-faced to a house show, she's been off. She did the lamb.
Yeah, I believe from what I heard, she was actually fired for that.
No, the guy that let her in.
Was fired. Okay. Yep. So she must have been suspended or reprimanded.
No, she won the lamb. She just fucking ran.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
so they, as you know, the WWE does have their wellness program.
Of course.
So they were looking at getting her into some sort of, because it's part of the program, some rehabilitation.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's good. I guess it's good to see that
she's healthy and back.
Yeah, but also fuck her. Like,
yeah,
I don't rock up to work drunk.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. But yeah, clearly it says there's an issue there. Yeah. But it was nice to see her back. I was very interested to see. Obviously, she has a completely different look. She changes her hair quite often, which is really cool. But
before the match even does kick off, though, Becky Lynch did have a bit of a promo.
She did.
She had some things. You got notes down there. What she said?
I've got a few notes. Nothing too crazy. What have we got here? She obviously makes a few comments about Lacey Evans being out the back, furthering her career with the McMahons.
Sucking dick.
Basically, talking about how she's a lady. I believe at one point she calls. So Lacey comes out. I'm pretty sure Lacey comes out and she tries to talk about how she's going to teach the man how to be a lady.
Yeah, so the idea is, you're a man, you're acting with your emotions. A woman is always in control of her emotions. Like, listen here, you downright plank.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, exactly. She's like, listen here, you absolute plank. I was like, what a line. Like, what an absolute line. Like, listening to Lacey talks just makes me want to throw up on the spot. And I think my favorite thing lately has been the Lacey Evans' trash cans thread on Twitter.
If you do head over to the PopC community group, we do have a thread. Of there's a Twitter account that's finding painted bins that look like Lacey Evans outfits.
It's so good. There's so many different ones. There was one of like Seth Rollins' dildos. Oh, that was great. There's a few different ones, but yeah, I absolutely love that because that's exactly how I feel about Lacey Evans. She's a bin to me. But yeah, so Becky had some really good banter there about that. Obviously talking about Lacey Evans being a plank. But yeah, as Lacey's sort of like standing there, Alicia Fox does interrupt. She just sort of walks past Lacey Evans, standing there trying to be a lady, and Alicia's just like turns her nose up to her and keeps walking.
Yeah, the match was nothing substantial.
Nothing
crazy.
It
did end with Becky once again getting to disarm her. Like there was nothing of note
that
here.
That confused me though, because it happened so quickly that like, next minute Lacey was in the ring like socking. Becky
so what went down
right.
is there was the disarm Alicia Fox. Now the camera angle that we had on for
really
TV
poor.
was a little poor. You didn't actually see the submission. You just take the referee's word for it.
Yeah.
But the second that the bell went, Lacey was in and just gave the women's right to Becky's face. Now Becky took that punch, got up, and then took a second
one. Yeah, which was even harder again. Like
Yeah.
that second one was brutal. I was like, damn, like she's gonna lose a teeth or two. Becky did say earlier in the night she has no problem taking a couple of sucker punches because she's been known to throw them herself. So she did take them like a double champ.
Look, it does make me excited. Like, as much as I fucking hate Lacey Evans, it's the same thing as Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Like she's doing the right things for me to hate her in the good way.
Definitely.
And it makes me really excited to see her because we do know that she does have the Money in the Bank match against Becky for the Raw Women's Raw Women's Championship belt, and I want to see that match real bad.
Yeah. Now the more I'm seeing of this whole lead up, the more I'm wanting to see it.
Yeah.
Initially, I was like, oh, Lacey Evans, but now I'm definitely more interested in this. I'm definitely a bit more invested. I want to see what a garbage can actually do.
Yeah, like I'm more willing to forget all of the bullshit entrances.
Yeah.
Now.
Definitely.
Next, we get a match between Ricochet. We should mention Ricochet's sound effect has changed. It's a slightly bit more lasery paching.
Yeah.
It's not quite as Wild West as it was last week.
Yes.
Which is a good thing. Oh, they also add an additional sound effect of thunder and lightning when he removes his hood.
That. Yeah.
Like that's fucking stupid.
That was a bit dumb.
So this is confirmation that he is now a singles competitor.
Yes.
Because we did also get confirmation from Kilobyte that Aleister Black has moved over to SmackDown. So they split up that tag team, which is a real shame. But it's one of those situations, right? They were a killer tag team, but they were given how many shots at belts?
Yeah, exactly.
And they won none of them.
Exactly it. Like I said, I think those losses for them was a lead up to something bigger for them as singles competitors. Obviously, they've proved themselves as a team. Now it's time for them to prove themselves as singles competitors because they can clearly do it. You even saw matches there where one was competing, the other one was on the side of the ring. So they're definitely capable of doing it on their own. So I'm really interested to see how they go solo.
I agree. I think it was a great way. Them making that decision was a great way for us as the universe that especially ones that don't know them from NXT, how to become exposed to them and sort of get an understanding of their repertoire. With the hiccups, apparently.
A little bit of everything. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's a good way to be introduced to them. Very good.
I still wanted to see them with a tag team belt, but that looked like it wasn't going to be an option, so that's a shame. Yes. Now this was so Ricochet was taking on not Bobby Roode, Robert Roode. So after confirmation that Chad Gable has also moved, he moved last week with the Superstar Shakeup. It was announced post-show that he had made the move across. It looks as if Bobby Roode has gone for a bit of a slight rebrand.
Yes.
So he's now dropped Bobby and he's going by his full name of Robert.
Yes, he is still the glorious Robert Roode.
He is still glorious. He's glorious Roode. He has trimmed his beard, so he now has a tremendous mustache.
Beautiful
very
porn
Tom
stash.
Selleck.
Yeah.
It's
to me, it's more of a porn stash, very 70s porn stash.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Apparently there's a lot of influence here to a wrestler from back in the day called Rick Rude.
Yes.
So apparently, there's a bit of similarities there because Rick Rude was a bit of that ladies' man.
Yeah, definitely.
A bit of that suave piece of shit.
Definitely. They do give a little video interview that he had earlier in the day saying, he's rebranding because he's lost the 150-pound dead weight that was Chad Gable, and he is his own competitor now, and he's going to be bigger and better and sort of make a name for himself, which I thought was super interesting, and I'm about it.
I'm totally down. Bobby, like I said, I this is speaking secondhand, of course, because I've not watched a lot of him on NXT.
Yeah.
But on NXT, he was brilliant. Apparently,
Yeah.
He was tremendous as a singles competitor and just mush face.
Yeah,
so,
he's another huge powerhouse of a dude. He's just well cut, very tall, very stocky. He's a very jacked dude.
And the mustache helps.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Corey Graves did say there's going to be a lot of pregnant women in the house tonight. So
I fucking laughed. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
So the win did go to Robert Roode
with
a glorious DDT. And I believe this may be Ricochet's first pinfall loss on the roster.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him have a pinfall loss. So that was super interesting. Again, it's another one of those opposites attract type matches, Roode's not a very he's a fast dude, but he's more powerhousey than he is agile and up on the ropes and stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I was bummed to see Ricochet lose, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just goes to prove that old mate RR is a really good singles competitor. He's clearly proven himself.
I agree. Watching him as a tag team kind of lost all my oomph for him. Like,
Yes.
his entrance has always been amazing.
Yeah.
But, like, I was like, cool, is that, like, for me, I was like, oh, that was what brought him to my attention. But then, shortly after I started watching, he joined with Gable. So I'm like, oh, okay. But, this makes me excited. Like, the way he just threw Ricochet in those turnbuckles, like, it makes me want to see a lot more.
Definitely.
And next, finally, after, 2 weeks of a bird in a box,
a buzzard
we have now
and a dollhouse.
been shown the resolution of that. So, our confirmation, our predictions, our beliefs were correct. It is a Bray Wyatt thing. So Bray Wyatt announces the Firefly Funhouse. So, it's similar to Blue's Clues or Bray's Clues.
Yeah, Bray's Clues.
Like
very Mr. Rogers looking thing.
Mr. Rogers, Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse sort of thing. So it's Bray Wyatt talking about how he's changed.
Yes.
So he's about how he's no longer he used to be a bad man. Mm-hmm. He's no longer that. He's changed his ways, and he's no longer that. Well, he preferred the slob, I think that he used to. So that is true. Bray Wyatt is looking thinner. He's tidied his beard. He's tidied his hair. No more Hawaiian shirt and or fedora. Yeah. So he's looking a lot better.
Yeah, he did look, and he does have a cardboard cutout at one point next to him of the old Bray Wyatt, sort of compared to the new one. And sort of when he came in, I was like, oh, you look good. Like, he looked really healthy in the face. He looked very strong. That sort of less of the beard looks really nice on him. It suits him well. The tied back dreadlocks, absolutely love that as well. Lighter hair. His hair was more of a blonde color as opposed to that brunette now. He cleaned up really well. I was like, oh damn. Yeah. So who are you?
That's certainly true. That happened.
Yeah.
I agree. I was like, oh, Bray Wyatt looking pretty good. So we did get confirmation of some of his new friends in his funhouse. So we did have Mercy the Buzzard.
Yes.
Now Mercy, we believe, may be once again another callback to a wrestler of the 80s. I forget his full name was something Mercy, but it was the character. It was where Bray Wyatt got a lot of his influence from in terms of his character with the Wyatt family. And then we also have Abby, the witch. Yeah. Very clearly Sister Abigail.
Yes.
So one of the big key things. Oh, fuck off. Watch it is not time to stand up. Go away. So we do one thing we do see. He's rocking 2 gloves.
Yes.
One says hurt, one says heal.
Yeah.
And heal as in HEAL.
Yep.
Like heal as in like a medical, not heal as in a bad guy.
Or bottom of your foot.
Or bottom of your foot. What's your thoughts on this?
I'm really excited to see where this is going. Initially it was a very dark, sort of gloomy promo videos. I was like, are we getting like creepy, weird, like Bray Wyatt back? And then seeing this really perky, fun little, funhouse show where he's like essentially killing the old Bray by chainsawing this cardboard cutout. I was shook. I was like I was really, really creeped out by it. Because, like, people like Pee Wee Herman actually, like, freak me out. Like, old dudes in, like, funhousey, like, kids shows. I don't know why. Just really weird subject. But at the same time, I was so invested in it. I was like, oh, what are you going to do and how is this going to turn out? And, like, give me all of this. Especially when he had that, like, little bit there where he had his glove to his hands. He's like, what's that? And he had the hate up to his hand. And it sounded like he was, like, talking to something in his head. I was like, what's going on here? Like, is this going to be, like, a, like, are you going to have, like, a split personality thing going on?
That's my theory. My theory is we're going down a two-faced sort of angle here.
Yeah.
So rather than flip of the coin, he's got the hurt and the heel. Yeah, so I think depending on the situation, he'll listen, he'll hear from the different sides of Bray Wyatt. He talks about like how he's changed, man. He used the bad man and the good man.
And everybody's like, boo, and he's like, I deserve that.
And the other way that could go as well is maybe the universe plays a role.
Yeah.
As in, you got your hurt, your heel, and then kind of like playing with the crowd, see what they what they think as well.
They're like the coin that he flips.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because even though he was in a very bright and colorful situation, there was those very strong dark undertones.
Mm-hmm.
He ended the show with a fucking chainsaw in his hand.
Yeah, exactly, and a creepy laugh.
The future looks interesting for Bray Wyatt.
I am really stoked to see this. I think this could be something amazing.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. I think I'm very, very, very keen. So keen. And finally, we did get the match between AJ Styles and Baron Corbin for the shot at the Universal Championship for Money in the Bank.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
What do you think?
I was not invested in this at all. I was like, I did not want either of these two to win.
Agreed.
Like, I was a bit like, meh, but I watched it anyway. I love that, like, long-winded, like, extra introduction for Baron Corbin. Like, that's the only thing I like about him now, is just listening to the ring announcer just, tell all his former escapades, whatever. Like, good for you, that's fun, like, but I was not in this match. I was like, of course, like, AJ's gonna win it. Like, we're gonna see AJ versus... There's no way Baron Corbin has a chance in this. Like, I was very much like, I can predict how this is gonna go. Baron's gonna dominate the whole thing. AJ's gonna get a phenomenal forearm and take the win. Like, and that's pretty much what happened. Spoilers. But yeah, I was really uninvested in this. I was not interested until while AJ was celebrating, Seth came out. And I was like, ooh, like, Seth's gonna get angry. And extended his hand for a handshake. And I was like, ooh. And AJ took his sweet time with it. He was like, maybe. All right. And they shook hands and they do that, like, yank, and they get all face to face. And I was like, okay, now I want this. Like, it wasn't until that point where Seth was like, yeah, I'll burn you down almost. I was like, okay, yeah.
Seth still don't care.
I still don't care, but I was like, okay, yep, okay.
Like, either of these, I don't care. Like, I would have much honestly have preferred if somehow Baron did it dirty and got the win. Yeah. Because that would have been a fucking awesome. Like, because right now, you would have 4 weeks to build on that and add so much more to it come Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It would go from heat to hate.
Yes.
People will go fucking bonkers at this. And I think that would have been a much more interesting outcome, but it is a competition and it's more about who wins at that time.
Yes.
And AJ Styles probably is the better performer. He's the better wrestler. So it is the better outcome in that sense. Yes. Right? If anything, it helps demonstrate the pedigree that AJ's come from with his, win over AJ, win over Randy Orton, and having the belt run at SmackDown. And obviously, saying that though, it's face on face. I don't give a shit. Yeah, exactly. But it is also, I guess,
AJ solidifying a name for himself on Raw as well, as he has come across in the Shakeup. So, I get it, but I don't want it. But I kind of want it. Like, I'm a little bit like, I guess. But at the same time, I'd love to see, like, some crazy, like, wild interference, like, and have some big, like, fuck off crazy match instead. So like, we've got 4 weeks to build on this, so who knows where it's going to go. The only thing I'm thinking is that one of them's going to turn. That's the only way that could mildly redeem this. We've got 4 weeks to make that happen. I think one of them can be a dick in 4 weeks. Definitely. If I had to choose, I think I'd like to see AJ go here. I feel like AJ can pull off. He could pull off a bad guy so good. I agree. So Seth has been the voice of the universe, since like November of last year, right? Yeah. So I think he has a good space because as of he was the proxy for the universe when it came to getting Brock Lesnar out of there. I think it would be not the best idea for Seth to do that and to turn to the bad dude and sort of give in to those darker things. I don't think he could do it. I don't think he's been healed before. Yeah, I know, but like I think he's in a position now where like. I don't know. He feels very John Cena to me. Like he's always going to be like that sort of middle ground. Like forever face? Yeah, forever face. Like, I feel like he's hit that point now. I think for me, it's just more logical that AJ could do it. And I feel like AJ would be just a better bad guy in general. So what would you rate it? What do you think? I think, what would I rate it? I would rate it... I'd say maybe a 1.5 Kurt Angles. Yeah, I'm going to the middle. I'm giving it a... speaking of Kurt Angle. Oh? What have we got here? What have I missed? Yeah, do you have the Olympic hero? He has the Olympic hero. He has... You do... Yes! So to forever solidify Kurt Angle as our rating system and having him as a memento for the young and the wrestlers, I did go out of my way to pick up a Kurt Angle action figure. Oh, he's gorgeous. So although he will live forever as our scoring system, he'll also live forever on our shelf here. He will, yes. At the wrestlers, he's now standing over there with Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. I love it. That is so cool. He's gonna suck forever with us. That's right. We do love a bit of a Kurt Angle. But no, I'd say sort of a 1.5
Yeah, I give it straight to the middle. I go to 1.
Yeah.
It was just like there was a couple of handful of really cool things in there. Like Bray Wyatt thing was a big up for me.
The Usos promo for me
Uso
was
promo
huge.
was solid.
Becky calling Lacey a plank was great.
Yeah, that first triple threat was fucking brilliant. But everything else was just kind of lackluster and down the middle. Like there was nothing too much of excitement here. Yeah, but let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Monday Night RAW. Chuck me in those comments below. Head over to the Facebook group or that Discord. That Discord is starting to light up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to use it more and more. So,
talk to us more. Tell us some things.
Come Discord with us. Once again, if the link doesn't work, let me know.
Definitely.
This brings us to SmackDown. I forgot what to write down this.
Yeah, so SmackDown was held at the University of Nebraska. In Nebraska.
In Nebraska. Funny.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, so it did kick off with Shane McMahon coming into the ring. He's sort of following up on Vince getting socked in the face last week by Roman Reigns. In true act of unintentional irony, he does walk out and get but the idea of what kind of man would lay their hands on another man's father.
Don't forget that he does get the Greg Hamilton Best in the World intro.
Yeah,
again.
just once though, which is nice.
Just once, which was nice. Very sweet. But yeah, what kind of deviant, what kind of horrible human would lay their hands on another man's father? And the irony. Oh, the irony. It was more irony than a cast iron skillet. It was he says, Roman Reigns, like he calls Roman Reigns out. He's like, I am your boss. I'm not asking, I'm demanding.
I need you to come out here and answer for what you've done. He goes through the idea of what sort of repercussions there'd be. Am I going to fire him? Am I going to fine him? Am I going to fucking punch him? Like, what's my different plans here?
What's going on
here? So he goes, as your boss, Roman, I called you out. You come here now.
He did. This made me giggle a bit. As Shane talking obviously about his laying your hands on somebody's father. That's as bad as burning the American flag or defacing Mount Rushmore. Yeah. Instead of Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. So he did mention that Vince was an American icon.
Yes. Yeah. He did.
Patriot.
Yep. So I found that a bit funny that he just couldn't get his words out. But yeah, obviously Roman Reigns does come out, microphone in hand, decides he doesn't want to talk and throws it.
Yeah, so he grabs the mic, goes put up, and then's like, nah, fuck it, and then just pegs that shit. And Shane's like, I won't go right now. He drops the mic too.
Does a little dance.
So they get ready to bust it out, but while this happens, Elias comes legging it down the ramp. Roman turns around, gives him a big soccer uppercut, but that opening allows Shane to come in and drop a flurry of punches into the midsection of Roman.
Yeah, it sounds like for anybody who watched the Fighting with My Family with Paige, they have a little thing in there called a receipt where you you pay someone back. Yeah. It seems like Roman got a little bit of a receipt on that, and he goes,
he did. He made him
proper socks.
He did a thing. Yeah, and he's getting payback for said thing.
Yeah, definitely a bit of punishment there. He did get a little bit of an upper hand there, but
then Elias came back in again and sort of so it looks like there is some buddy cop stuff going on with Elias and Shane right now. Interesting pairing, but I think it's the most Elias has done in a very long time. So aside from him doing his musical things and then proceeding to get boosted every week, so
exactly.
That's a big up for me.
Definitely.
So after that, we come back to Shane and Elias standing in the back of the stadium, talking about like, hey, you dog a bit of mark on my face. Like, yeah, he kind of socked you good. He's like, yeah, but it was worth it. I did it for my dad. I never know, be so fucking proud.
But we gotta go. Let's go.
Yeah, and they hightail out there.
Yeah.
But during that though, is that later?
That's later.
But yeah, so then we get to the New Day.
The New Day. Just a little Kofi interview. We find out he does have a match later that night. We're first match since WrestleMania against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Not a championship match, it's a regular old singles match.
Regular singles match. He is joined by Xavier Woods and then eventually Big O, who does tell him, why, like, you're gonna win this match. You know why? I know you're gonna win this match, and you want to know why. And basically just this. I love this whole like Big O and the New Day thing.
Yeah, like, I'm digging. Like, I thought it was going to be a once-off thing out of Montreal, and then I noticed this way, and they're like, "Here it is, my fuck, yes."
Just
give
the
me
way
all this
KO
Big O.
jumps in, like,
he's like, I was just off camera. Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah. I love that he has to be acknowledged for what he does too. Like, KO's always like, "Did you see that? I did that. Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. It was awesome, right? Tell me it's awesome."
Well, cause it's a different thing. Like, Big O has not been that guy. Like, he's not. Like, the New Day is such a specific need and request.
Yes.
Like it's unlikely that for him to sort of fill those shoes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I understand the hesitance and the wanting to get more details. But we did then move into a match with Andrade, who has returned. So he did make his way over to Raw to then now come back to SmackDown. There's a couple of reasons for that. So Dash did fill me in. One of them being that because Andrade and Charlotte Flair are an item, Charlotte went and put up a stink, yelled at Vince McMahon's face, and because she does have,
she is the chosen child.
She is the chosen one. Yep. She does have that sway, and I understand why the McMahons would do everything within their power to make her happy. So for that reason, they have brought over Andrade. And with Andrade comes Zelina Vega, and because if they're going to give that the partnering with
yes. boyfriend girlfriend
treatment, then they should accept that that Zelina is married to Aleister Black, so Aleister has brought her over to SmackDown as well.
Yep, keeping families happy, I guess.
Yeah.
This was a rematch from last week. Andrade was versing Finn Balor, who did lose his final match on Raw to Andrade.
Yep. So there was a little bit of a promo before the match kicked off, and the first time I've really heard Andrade speak.
Yeah.
And to me, how he wants to dismantle the legend of Finn Balor, I think were the words.
Yeah. Yeah, Zelina does say, you thought you could get away from us, but we're back. Very interesting.
I want to hear Andrade talks more.
Yeah, it's weirdly soothing because he's got this deep brooding voice, but it's like calm
and methodical.
Yeah, very calculated.
Like I'm not saying that it's like Gus from Breaking Bad or anything like that, but like it's that right amount of fuck.
Yeah.
He's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, exactly it. I did have a bit of a giggle because as Andrade was coming out, the announcers were speaking. Again, there was a slip up, and one of the guys says they've got a settle to score instead of a score to settle. I was like, geez, you guys are on it tonight, aren't you, SmackDown?
Yeah. You're doing well.
But yeah, so I guess it's just like this was a chance for Finn to sort of, prove himself to Andrade. He did lose a match last week, non-title match as well. As always, Zelina Vega did interfere.
But interestingly, normally her interference is what helps Andrade get a win.
Yeah.
And this time it was the polar opposite. It's actually what cost her. By her intervening is literally what cost Andrade the win.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
So we should mention, Finn does win with the old coup de grace.
Coup de grace. It was really interesting to see that. And that really interests me to see where Andrade and Zelina's relationship goes. Obviously, like you said, usually she's helpful, and this time she was detrimental to his cause.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see where that goes.
So then I don't think this is going to be a cause for them to dismantle what they do. I still think their relationship is stronger than that. I think, as a manager, you do sometimes make not the greatest decisions. And it's about learning from the decision and altering and fixing, making it better.
Hopefully this is a place for Andrade to be like, keep the frick out of it, so she stops interrupting in matches because I'm sick of seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, you're a manager, I get what you're doing, but do a Paul Heyman and just stand there and yell. Just don't interfere. Just keep out of it.
Yeah, solid match. I want to see more Andrade and Finn.
Yeah, definitely.
Only because I want to see more Andrade. I think Andrade's brilliant, and I do think this makes sense. So previously, looked like there was going to be some Andrade Rey work going on, but with Rey's now focus on Joe and the US belt, it looks like Andrade's gone, fuck that noise. I'm going to put my eyes on someone else, and I think it's where it's got.
Yeah, and now they're separated brands as well, so it's a good opportunity for both of them to pursue different ventures, which could be more beneficial.
Next, we get a promo from Elias calling Roman Reigns out, saying that he wants to take him on at Money in the Bank.
He does. Very interesting.
What do you think of this pairing?
I am excited. Honestly, I think Elias is Vince McMahon's now chosen child. His
biggest acquisition in SmackDown history.
So I am very, very interested to see how this is going to go. I think, they're both very similar in stature and fighting style. So I think it'll be a very sort of, fist heavy kind of match. And I'm really excited to see that.
I just want to see Elias shirtless.
I just want to see them both shirtless.
Oh.
Yeah, just both get your gear off. Like, I just want to draw.
Isn't it fun that we're in a world that you can say, I want to see those dudes shirtless, and I can't say a thing?
About you want to see them shirtless too. You're allowed to say.
Well, Elias and Roman, yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how like heavy this match is going to be. There's going to be a lot of like hard punches thrown, a lot of heavy slams. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's an interesting match.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
presuming, because at this point Roman hadn't agreed. Spoilers, he agrees later on.
Yes.
It's happening. So like, there's no like.
As if he wouldn't though. Roman's up for the challenge.
That's true. He's always down. But so next up we got a singles match. So Kairi Sane's first SmackDown match against Peyton Royce of the Iconics. So accompanying Kairi was Asuka and presumably the manager Paige.
Yes. We do get a little video package before the match starts of Sonya and Mandy Fire and Desire confronting their former Absolution partner Paige. Saying, you're making a big mistake, and when this all comes falling apart, don't come crying back to Absolution because it's absolutely not going to happen. Ooh.
Fuck
Very
both
lame.
of you.
Very lame. Was not about it, but I see what they're doing there. Like, I get it. But yeah, and then we cut back to the match. Again, the Iconics on top of it with their beautiful promos, their hilarious, obnoxiously annoying voices. Just, yell at me more. Like, it's fine. Like, just, they do say, like, Peyton's like, even though Kairi got me with the insane elbow last week, Billy's like, yeah, but you got to remember, you weren't warmed up.
We're dehydrated.
You were dehydrated, and the element of surprise. And Peyton's like, yeah, well, I'm not dehydrated this time. I drank a gallon of water. And Billy's like, yeah, wait, a whole gallon? And she's like, yeah. It was so funny, just the way they went about it. I love listening to this speak. Just give me more of this dumb. Like, I just want them to be the champions so I can just listen to them just banter before every match because it's so bloody good.
My only concern though is because the other thing they were going with the idea of Ozzifying Kairi's name to be like Kerry or Kairi, which is super fucking Australian.
Yeah.
I do wonder how all this lands to Americans. Like for us, we're like, we know them women.
Yeah.
Like I do wonder how it's perceived. Like I know a couple of other websites I follow, they're fans because they think it's that beautiful jesterness.
Yes.
But I do wonder, like on average, how it looks.
If we do have any people listening from the States, tell us.
Yeah, in terms of let us know. Like, do you like? Obviously, you might find it entertaining, but do you understand it? Like, do you? Australian culture is a little different.
Do you understand us bogans?
Yeah,
love it.
I guess us as well too. Yeah. So it did end with once again Peyton Royce getting the loss with an insane elbow from Kairi. It was rad.
Yeah, definitely. I love, Kairi's got some really cool moves there. She's got this really brutal spear that she calls the Interceptor. Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously pirate themed. Absolutely love it. And she does this really cool, like, sliding elbow thing. I think it was called the Sliding Deep.
It's where she runs across the corner of the ring. Yeah, where she walks the plank and then fucking fangs it.
Yeah. Pretty, really, really cool stuff. But yeah, it was really, really cool. I was really stoked to see Kairi in some one-on-one competition.
Yeah.
That insane elbow is insane. Like the way she moves in the air to get into that position for that hit is just phenomenal. Like she is definitely something to look out for, and I'm really excited for her and Asuka and the pairing of those two. And I'm really interested to see if they could come out of this champions.
I think they are the next contenders, at least. Like,
definitely.
as we said when we were talking about Raw, like they seem like the best and or if only option.
And we do know Asuka's an amazing singles competitor. So and Kairi is obviously proving herself to be an amazing singles competitor as well. So putting them together, it can't go too wrong.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So next we get Absolution coming out and doing some sarcastic applause to the outcome of the match, and then they kind of step to the left to the changing background. I'm like, oh, are they announcing a third member of Absolution to sort of come in?
I thought the same thing.
I was like, oh, who's the third? Like, what's going to happen? That's Jinder Mahal. I'm like, holy fuck, Jinder Mahal is the third member of Absolution. Oh my God. Like, them and the Singh brothers, that's like 5 people. Like, is this the new faction? Like Absolute Indian? Is this what this is? Like Absolute Mahal? Like, what's the plan? And he's like, oh no, here's a singles match. I'm like,
oh, that's disappointing.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Could you imagine just Jinder Mahal pulling a Santino Marella and coming out.
Well,
like,
not even that.
skirts and a
Him just
wig.
coming out as Jinder Mahal, like maybe Asari at some point. But like, even if he just comes out as Jinder Mahal, but with two like small white women, like it's brilliant because he's like 100 feet tall and like he's gold. Like,
built like a brick shit house.
he is, and like do the Singh brothers and then have to stand with Absolution as well.
Yeah.
Like, how does
Could
this
you imagine
work?
him in the middle, Sonya, Mandy, and then
Yeah,
the Singh
him in an
brothers?
entourage.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I dig it. I
That'd
think
be
that's
cool.
that right amount of stupid, and I
love
loved
it.
it. However, that's not even
what
going to
happened.
happen. I wish
Oh.
that was happening.
Disappointing.
If anything, I should make that the title of this episode. Like, Jinder Mahal joins Absolution? Question mark. I was like, that's stupid. I'm like,
well.
Get some clicks though.
Yeah. Clickbait is how it's at.
But yeah, so we should also mention this is another shake-up move. Jinder
Yes.
did spend some time over on Raw,
Yes.
so no one got told like, hey, Jinder's here. Everyone was like, okay.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder's here, yeah.
And he was taking on, he will be taking on Chad Gable. Before that, we did get a promo from Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Who was talking about the
Who is he? What
the
is
separation of character and persona and person and persona and and all this sort of stuff. And he talked at the end about how, you know, as you come to see the difference, you'll find something about being condemned.
Yeah.
So it looks like we might be stepping away from the fade to black.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad.
Very
I just bought a fade to black shirt. That
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I'm very, very interested because for me, it gave me a very like a dark turn vibe. Like it gave me a very like maybe he's going to the dark side. Maybe, you know, maybe this is going to be like, you know, he's fading to black. I
Well,
guess.
because this is the thing. Like, part of it, like, he is rocking that Undertaker, that style in terms of the mystic look, right? So it would make total sense for him to then replace the mantle of Undertaker. I think he's probably the best person to do so.
I just had a maybe possibility. Maybe we could see like, you know, the new Bray Wyatt versus an Aleister Black, like.
Or maybe there is a connection there.
Yeah, maybe there's a
they'll be-
connection with them or something like that. That would be cool.
Be very, very
That
cool.
would be really cool. Ooh. We don't know where Bray Wyatt's going yet, so
No,
this
we
is
don't.
opening up all the possibilities.
It could.
Ooh.
It could.
That would
Very
be cool to
interesting.
see those two together.
But yeah, it was Jinder Mahal versus Chad Gable. But before Chad can even get into the ring, he gets proper mushed by Lars Sullivan. Comes anywhere once
Ridiculous.
again, continuing his mushing of legends.
Yeah.
But obviously, Chad Gable, no way in the same par as the Hardys and
No.
Kurt Angle and, you know, and R-Truth and whatnot.
yeah.
Like Rey Mysterio. Like, so he's not there, but he's there.
Still enough.
So after he gets mushed, Lars makes his way into the ring to jump on Jinder as well.
Jinder doesn't run up.
bounces. He's like, fuck
As
that.
always.
Slinks out, like, and then the
For a big guy, he can really get out quick.
yeah, and the Singh brothers get fucking wrecked.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah, where were Absolution is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly
Like,
it.
if he did join Absolution, Sonya Deville could have MMA'd his ass.
Yeah,
and,
exactly it.
And
Lars had
like
no
Sonya
chance.
could have distracted him with her goddessness.
Yeah, no chance.
No.
Lars would have no chance.
If only he was part of Absolution.
Yeah, but then R-Truth decides to show up, who got mushed, I believe, last week.
It was interesting. So yeah, R-Truth got mushed, and he's like, "No, fuck that noise. I'm gonna come and step up." So he runs in, gets in the ring, elbow in the face, fucking gets dropped.
Gets mushed. Yeah.
Not going well.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not points for trying R-Truth.
Yeah,
but
like, well done, R-Truth. You're trying. That's something.
don't ruin
You're
yourself
trying.
over this.
Next, we get to a promo of Roman in the locker room.
Yes.
You know, whatever her name is, coming in, being like, "Hey, you gonna accept
Kayla?
Kayla? You gonna accept the Money in the Bank?" Yeah, I am. Thank you very much. And then she leaves.
He does say that he is going to break Elias's jaw so he can't sing anymore.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep, so that was pretty nice. I was like, yeah, you know, that was a nice little touch to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, so of course I accept. I was like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Next, we get Charlotte Flair rocking.
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, Charlotte Flair. She comes out rocking some solid PopC purple gear. Thank you very much, Charlotte. I know you're a fan. Appreciate it. She's looked fabulous in the purple.
Yeah,
might I
she
add,
did.
looked damn good.
Very
Look, I'm
good.
just saying, purple
Yeah.
may be her color.
Yeah.
And we're happy to have her on Team PopC Purple.
Yeah, definitely.
She comes to talking about, which is kind of what I expected out. Like, once we saw the match at WrestleMania where Becky gets the pin on
Ronda
Ronda,
Rousey.
and Charlotte doesn't technically get the loss. I knew that would become an angle.
Yes,
I knew that Charlotte would
definitely.
be too arrogant, too
Yeah.
fucking too full of herself to be like, no, I didn't fucking lose that match. That's my belt.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly
exactly what happened.
And she does, yeah. She's like, I want to know, like, why Becky is calling herself the SmackDown champion. She didn't pin me for my belt.
Mm-hmm.
And Becky obviously comes out and she's like, what don't you understand about winner takes all? Pretty straightforward.
Literally how it works.
Winner takes all, doesn't matter who I pin. I won, which means I take it all. Like, how do you not understand that? You big dope.
Yeah. So Charlotte Flair goes in this bit of a tirade and talks about how that she, you know, although she'll let, you know, she like, sorry, we'll take that back a step. So she's like, I'm in your head. Every time it's on social media, every time you look at Lacey Evans,
every time
you're
cut a promo, you're talking
thinking about me. You're thinking about Charlotte. And it's like, no, it's because, you know, the McMahons have a type and they're like, it's Charlotte Flair 2.0. If she's the Vegemite, Lacey Evans is the cheesy mite. It's shittier, but it's kind of a new version of it.
Yeah, exactly it.
So like, yeah, she's got a point, but I disagree.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, look, you may go take on fucking Lacey, whatever you want, but whatever happens after that, I am next in line.
Yeah.
I'm like, bull fucking shit
yeah.
you are. And thankfully Becky agrees. She's like, no, fuck this noise. Where's your likes of your Baileys, your Mickey James, your Ember Moons?
Yeah.
They who I want to take on. I'm sick of fucking seeing you.
Yeah.
She talked about how that she is the web that the McMahon seems to want to keep attaching her to.
Yep, Charlotte's Web reference.
I like it.
Yeah, but she does she does say, you know, I want a new challenge. That's what I want. I'm sick of you. I want something
I've beaten
new.
you 1,000 times.
Yeah, and I'll do it again. And Charlotte's like, you know what? Like, you know, I've done this 8 times and I'll do it a 9th. Like, I can get what I want because I say so.
Yeah. So Bailey comes in and talks about the idea. It's like, you know what? I'm expired since this. She's like, look, this is. I'm wanting for her to say this is the same shit. Like I've seen this shit before.
Yeah. She does say the Shakeup is supposed to be for new starts, and yet here we are with a repeat.
Here we are looking the same old shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wish she could have said. Like, why are we in the PG? If we weren't PG right now, she'd be like, I'm seeing the same old shit. I'm like, yes, Bailey, we are seeing the same old shit.
Get angry, Bailey. Absolutely loved it. Bailey does thank Becky for the little shout out. She's like, thanks for the shout out.
And
Becky.
Becky's like, yeah, man, I want that match. I want to see that match.
Yeah, exactly. Becky wants this just about as, you know, we all do. But Bailey's like, you know, Charlotte does say, you know, get to the back of the line. Just get to the back of the line. Like, keeps shoving her and stuff. And Bailey just smacks her hand off her. And she's like, no, you need to stop being an entitled. Basically, she says, stop being an entitled bitch. You need to earn your spot. You're not going to get handed it anymore. So why don't you earn it right here, right now? And Charlotte's like, I don't have time to take you on.
What? Knocks the mic out of her hand. I'm like, oh! And Becky's like, oh! And you were like, oh! And it was like, oh, this is going to be brilliant. So then we get a match of Bailey versus Charlotte Flair, with the winner of this match getting an opportunity to take on Becky.
At Money in the Bank.
Well, it didn't state at Money in the Bank at the time.
Ah, didn't it?
No, it did not.
Ah, I missed that.
So they had a contender match. It was
number one contenders
match.
Contender. Ah, there you go. Sorry, spoilers.
So it was a pretty solid match. Charlotte did a lot of work on Bailey's leg.
Yeah.
So taking advantage of that.
That's one thing I did mention. Charlotte is really good at picking an injury and targeting it, or making an injury and targeting it. Charlotte's a bit of an assassin like that. She's very good at doing that sort of thing. So that's, I think, what I love about watching Charlotte wrestle is she's very methodical. She's very on top of it. So yeah, I do love a bit of a match. But Bailey does get some good upper hand there. She gets. But unfortunately.
But sadly, Charlotte gets the win, which is boring as shit. I wanted Bailey, man.
Right?
Like, you know how I talked about face v face and how it sucks? Nah, not for Becky and Bailey. Give me Becky and Bailey.
It.
I want that. Give me all of that.
Exactly it. Vicious, absolutely vicious brutal spear from Charlotte. And I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, so Charlotte to get the win via spear and looks to beat the living fuck out of her.
Yep, exactly it. Becky is backstage watching on, and she does get her little interview with Kayla, I believe.
Sure.
She does say, you know, being a double champ means I'm pulling double duty, and that's when we find out that it is a Money at the Bank. It's going to be a Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, so Becky announcing that she'll be doing, as you said, double duty, doing two matches at Money in the Bank, which should be very interesting to see.
V Lacey, and
but one of those things, like if you, as she said, if you are rocking 2 belts, that means you're going to be defending it twice. You're going to be going to 2 shows. You're going to be a double target.
Exactly it. I'm really interested to see how it goes for Becky at Money in the Bank, just because it's the McMahon's golden children,
Yeah.
like literally golden haired, like creepy blonde hair, blue eyes, like some sort of weird cult thing going on there. Anyway, I'm really excited to see Becky just absolutely annihilate and just rub that in the face. Of
Yeah,
the
so we do have 4 weeks up until then. There's a lot, but before we even make some predictions or anything, there's a bit of time between now and then. So
Yeah.
I think it should be very, very cool to be able to think about that later. We get the Bray Wyatt promo over here, same as one for Raw, but here on SmackDown.
Yes.
And the final of the night, Kofi Kingston versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So Shinsuke was joined by Rusev and Lana ringside.
Yes.
And of course, Kofi had the New Day.
The New Day. They did have their own little commentator table. So they were sitting next to the commentators with their big old pancakes all over the place, having a good old banter there, which was really interesting to see. Yeah.
So there was mention they were discussing. So Xavier brought up attention to Kevin Owens. It was like, hey, as a previous heavyweight champion, what do you think going into them? What would you think going into a match like this? And he's like, no, I was a universal champion. I've never been heavyweight champion. So he points out something there that sort of leads me to some interesting thinking. Match goes okay. Stock standard. Shinsuke's still fucking weird. I just don't think I understand his style.
Yeah, I think I'm very much the same. I wasn't too invested in it, unfortunately. As much as I love watching Kofi, I was like, you deserve better than Shinsuke Nakamura.
Saying that though, it's good that Shinsuke's not being like thrown away. Like
it's good to see him
he got a main
headlining.
event.
Yeah, he got a main event. It's good to see him headlining a show. He does. There is. Yeah, it's just
there's a couple cool spots there. Like we get Shinsuke dropping a snap suplex off the middle rope on Kofi.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That looked fucking gnarly.
Yeah, definitely.
But it did end with a Trouble in Paradise from Kofi to Shinsuke as the pin goes down.
So Trouble in Paradise gets counted and Kofi gets the SOS.
That's
instead.
right. That's correct. My bad.
Yeah.
Trouble in Paradise deflected. SOS down. There goes the pin. It's 2 count. In comes Rusev, knocks Kofi clean off. Bussin ensues.
Yeah, exactly. Big old bussin. Obviously the New Day do get involved as well. It's a big old brawl for all.
So Xavier gets involved. He gets in the ring. There's a bit of a scuffle. He runs a Big O. Big O gives him the throw out of the ring into Rusev, knocking
doing
him
the Big
down.
E job. Yeah.
Then as Big O is keeping an eye on Kofi, Shinsuke comes running in. Kofi pushes Big O out of the way. Flips Shinsuke over the ropes. He's out of the ring. Bam! Super kick from Kevin Owens into the face of Kofi Kingston.
I saw this turn coming a mile away, but I did not see it coming tonight. I watching it, I was like, whoa, that happened quicker than I expected. Like, I was expecting this to be a bit more of a long-winded thing.
So that's what makes this so interesting. So Kevin Owens has primarily always been a bad guy. Like, he's always been that dude. Like, you can't have your main goal to be to fight everyone and then not proceed to want to fight everyone.
Yeah, exactly it. Yeah, he does, rip off his shirt and he does have his, like, Owens
KO
fight.
show.
Yeah, his KO show.
Yeah, fight everyone.
Yeah, fight everyone on the back of it. Like I said, I saw it coming a mile away. I did, but I didn't see it happening this quickly. And that excited the absolute shit out of me. I was like, oh, this is going to happen.
Because I thought about it too, and same thing. It was like, mate, like I like this family man, Kevin Owens, that they've been showing. I like it, and I dig it. I'm enjoying it. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty sweet. It's very, very cool. But I'm like, this doesn't seem like Kevin Owens we know.
Yeah, exactly. And he does sort of, at one point, he does get the belt out and he's like standing on Kofi's head and like yelling at him.
I'm
like,
coming for this.
Yeah. I hope your kids enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this because I'm coming for it. It's mine. Like,
look, granted, like he could have been worse, been like, fuck you, kid, fuck you.
Yeah,
but he was
exactly
like, look, he's like, it was.
I hope you've had fun, but it's my turn now.
Yeah, and I like that. It's a much better, like it's a slightly better approach, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Being a family man to a family man, obviously.
Yeah, he's like, look, so like, I'm doing this because it's what I do. Like, I'm not. This ain't personal.
Yeah. But yeah, so Kofi does try and get.
I don't think it's personal.
Yeah. No. Kofi does get a little bit of an upper hand there, but KO does take over, and then Xavier Woods comes in for the save. I think KO was about to drop power bomb Kofi on the edge of the mat, and Xavier gets involved, and then Xavier cops this brutal power bomb to the corner of the
right on the apron,
on the ringside. He was screaming. I was so concerned for him. He hit, and I was like,
because the apron is the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah,
and like there is no give. It's all fucking metal, and it just sucks.
Yeah, like I still can't get Xavier screaming out of my head. That was brutal. And they eventually finally get KO to leave, and he's just staring down and huffing, and Kofi's like holding Xavier and staring down and huffing. It was a very tense moment. I was like, oh, I hope Xavier's not dead right now. Like, I hope his back is not shattered. We've already lost one of the New Day. Like, please. So, I'm interested to see.
Very much so.
Very much so.
I'm calling it right now. I think we're going to see Kevin Owens versus Kofi at Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Definitely think so. That'd be a good match. Definitely.
But it's about that build up from now to then. Like, you know, so now that we've got Kevin Owens doing bad guy thing, does that mean we're going to get him and Sami Zayn back together? Because they were like a duo of destruction for a little bit there.
That could be
so I think
cool.
that would be cool to have them back together, especially when you're taking on the likes with Big E out. Xavier's going to still be by Kofi's side. I think Kevin needs Sami by his side to help him out.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting.
What do you think of this week's episode?
I think, again, it was pretty good for me. I'd probably give it a 1.5 as well.
Yeah, I give it a 1.5 as well.
Yeah,
it wasn't brilliant,
Kurt Angles.
but I enjoyed a lot of it. It's, you know, you give 1.5 Kurt Angles. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I got enough out of it to enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's saying that when I did watch it the first time, I was painting minis at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I'm biased because I was enjoying painting those minis.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But let us know what you thought of this week's episode of SmackDown Live. Those comments below the Discord channel or in the Facebook group. Now, we do not have the dirt sheet, Dash's dirt sheet once again this week. He has had some family things come up, so he's not been able to go and acquire all the info from his sources, as Dash is now Uncle Dash. So he's been off helping his sister out and looking at spending some time with his brand new nephew. But I guarantee you, next week he will be back and he'll be giving us all those inside dirty wrestling things you need to know about.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah.
But listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services and 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Pop Cultures Discord channel. Link is in the description below. You can always contact us via email or popcultures.com/questions. Oh, we should also mention this because we never do. If you do listen to the show, please go over to iTunes or whatever service you're listening on and give us some stars, 5-star review or whatever, however you think we should be reviewed in stars, and leave a comment as well. Because for some reason, we've popped up in the new and noteworthy a handful of times on iTunes, and I have no idea how it works.
Thank you.
So I think, you know, I believe you guys are to thank for that, because I don't understand it. Like, for the players never made it onto the new and noteworthy. Like, I've got friends that have never made it to the new and noteworthy. I don't know what it is. I think someone on iTunes likes the name. It's probably the only option. Yeah. But over there, give us some feedback over there. Will be great, and it would help us get more people listening and joining that wrestling conversation. If you want to wear the Pop Cultures on your body, it's popcultures.com/shop. My shirts like this and other sort of shit with our logos on it. And you can also follow us at twitch.tv/popcultures, where we do play games. Sometimes, and the week before every pay-per-view, we do our predictions with 2K19. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm the Flair and Charlotte Flair, Jem.
We'll see you then.
Bye.